Before I take your questions, I'd like to say just a word about the framework with North Korea that Ambassador Gallucci signed this morning. This is a good deal for the United States. North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program. South Korea and our other allies will be better protected. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons. South Korea, with support from Japan and other nations, will bear most of the cost of providing North Korea with fuel to make up for the nuclear energy it is losing. And they will pay for an alternative power system for North Korea that will allow them to produce electricity while making it much harder for them to produce nuclear weapons. The United States and international inspectors will carefully monitor North Korea to make sure it keeps its commitments. Only as it does so will North Korea fully join the community of nations.
In recent years, the United States and the rest of the Western countries have adopted the so-called strategy of patience against North Korea, looking, waiting and anticipating the collapse of the country. The strategy of patience is based on the conviction that the North Korean regime will sooner or later collapse, crushed by the typical problems of a repressive regime that is based on an economic system that no longer works. The point is that, so far, this collapse has never happened, and now North Korea has suffered several crises, the terrible famine of the 1990s, true succession to the country's leadership, the vast number of sanctions since 2006, and yet the regime has always worked without giving up the development of its nuclear program, even thanks to the support of China. With Kim Jong-un in power, among other things, the rhetoric aggression of the country has risen, as well as the number of nuclear tests, which are steadily increasing day by day. In essence, critics of the strategy of patience do not say that the regime will certainly not collapse. They argue, however, that we do not have to rely too much because we do not have enough information to understand what is happening within society, the army and the North Korean leader. But time, is past. And now leader Kim Jong-un stated that he is ready to attack. Could be bluffing? Well, what if it isn't? What if an attack did occur? What would it look like? While North Korean could within about one day kill 1 million South Koreans, and maybe many more. Seoul is a city of 25 million people located 50 miles away from the North Korean border, well within North Korean range that has carefully distributed and hidden artillery throughout the mountains and terrain along the demilitarized zone. So it has the ability to immediately attack and devastate an entire city, similar to New York. Even 24 hours of war on the North Korean peninsula will be tremendously costly in civilian death, said Donald Gregg, former CIA station chief. An estimate says up to 1 million in the first 24 hours alone. So this is why the United States has never seriously considered action against North Korea, despite incredible, repeated and aggressive provocation from the nation over the years, until now.
Strategic patience has been the approach of the last American administration and beyond. For more than 2 decades, the United States and our allies have worked to peacefully dismantle North Korea's nuclear program and alleviate the suffering of their people. But at every step of the way, North Korea answered our overtures with willful deception, broken promises, and nuclear and missile tests. Over the past 18 months, North Korea has conducted 2 unlawful nuclear tests and an unprecedented number of ballistic missile tests, even conducting a failed missile launch as I traveled here for this visit. The era of strategic patience is over.
The State Department has asked all U.S. citizens who are in North Korea using the U.S. passport to leave the country by 1st September. From then on, North Korea is officially banned for U.S. travelers. This for me leads us to a very possible break between the two of them, after the 1st September, when there will be no more Americans in the country, chances are that North Korea is just bluffing, and the US sees him as a threat due to their nuclear arsenal and their tests. But chance is that they are basically developing their military power in order to not be bullied. But now arises another question. Will Beijing allow the US to bomb its neighbor? The answer to this question is a no, but it's a dangerous uncertainty. Defense Secretary James Mattis was more accurate when he warned in May that war with North Korea will be catastrophic and likely the worst kind of fighting in most people's lifetime. The West still doesn't understand the Korean. The more you beat them, the more they will persevere in their ideology and the way of thinking. The war of sanctions are not really the solution, and a preventive war, as the US is aiming, could not be the solution now. It's Unexpected Reporter here. Thanks for watching.